And this is a competitive subway building game where players are going to be trying to use route building as well as resource management in order to score the most victory points at the end of the game. Players are each going to be starting out the game with their own personal player board where they're going to be keeping track of their coins and resources throughout the game, as well as their stations and tracks that you'll be putting out onto the main board to build out your subway. Players are actually going to be starting the game by putting out their main station, which is known as the Terminus, and this is going to be where all the tracks are going to be starting from as you continue to build them throughout the game. The game plays over 4 rounds with each player taking turns performing one action, but this is where the really interesting aspect of this game comes into play, because in order to do your actions, you're going to be using this action loop. You'll only be able to perform the actions that are in front of you in a clockwise rotation, which means that you can jump ahead as far as you want, but every time you complete a full loop on this track, you're going to be moving another token up the time track, and you can only do that twice, which means that you can only move around the action loop twice, which means that you could just jump ahead one action space at a time and perform every single action, taking a ton of actions in a round, but that's often probably not the most strategic way to play the game, so you'll be jumping ahead trying to take actions before other players and trying to take advantage of different opportunities. These actions will allow you to do all sorts of different things, like buy more engineering resources or power, which you'll be using in order to build and operate your tracks, gain a new development tile, which you can immediately place adjacent to any of the tracks, and this essentially acts as a new action that players can perform, and you're going to be starting with your meeple out on that space. You can also use your action to move or place meeples onto those new development tiles as they're placed out on the board, allowing you to perform the action that they provide, or you can also gain upgrade tiles to gain bonuses at different points in the game, expand your subway, sign up for shared objectives which will allow you to score them at the end of each round, or even gain and complete secret objectives. The game continues like this, but then after 4 rounds, players are going to be adding up all their victory points, and you're going to be gaining victory points for the number of stations that you put out, stations that you have adjacent to the different developments, any shared objectives that you're able to complete, any secret objectives that you're able to complete, as well as any of your remaining coins. And of course, the player with the most victory points at the end of the game wins the game, and if you're interested in this one, you can check it out in the description below.